Hey everybody, welcome to This Week in Sports. I'm Sean. Some major news happening in Major League Baseball this week. Some big free agent signings, big names happening. There's two in particular that I want to talk about. First off, Jacoby Ellsbury of Boston Red Sox fame. He's been in the league for 7 years, all those years with the Boston Red Sox, and now he's hit the free agent market and he's signing with another team. And who else does he sign with? None other than the New York Yankees. So this is a wow kind of signature moment right here. The Yankees have gotten people from the Red Sox have gotten people from the Yankees in years past. It's one of those big signings that you're going to remember for a while. The contract he's signing right now is a 7-year, $153 million contract. There's also an extension at the end where it could up it all the way to $169 million for that extra year, the 8th year. So he's sitting pretty right now. He's going to be starting in the outfield, center field, replacing Curtis Granderson, who's now left the Yankees. And also, there's another player on the Yankees. This is the second big free agent that's gone or signed this week. He left the Yankees, Cano. He hit the free agency, and he went to go see Seattle, and my Seattle Mariners signed him. Jay-Z and his firm are his representatives, so they went into Seattle hoping to get the big bucks because Cano is probably the biggest grab in the free agent market this year. They went into Seattle looking for some big bucks. Seattle thought they were going to hold up for a $225 million deal. They ended up going all the way to 10-year, $240 million for Cano. That's a lot of money. This contract with Cano is the third highest contract tied with Albert Pujols since Alex Rodriguez's contract. So this is really good news for the Mariners in some sense because they're getting a name guy that's going to be the shared face of the franchise with Felix Hernandez. I'm really happy about that. But at the same time, I just wonder, is this going to hurt the rest of their free agent dealings because they're now going to be stingy with money, or they're going to be tight because they don't want to go over the luxury tax, or things of that nature. But the Mariners are not going to have anybody signed on a contract past next year, so they are only going to have, as of right now, Felix Hernandez and Cano. So this is in a good way. They can rebuild their team. They can get other players that are younger, so I'm really excited about where this can go. In more Seattle sports news, the Seattle Seahawks, they have one of the biggest, best fan bases in all the NFL. Two of their fans, Travis Platt and Cedric Morris, have raised $1,800 to rent a sign to be flown over Candlestick Park right before the game against the San Francisco 49ers this weekend. This is really cool. I really appreciate and like the fans doing this for their teams. It's really cool. It's a display of their affection for their team and of their fandom, and it's really neat. I definitely think that it might be a jab to the 49ers, and it might help get the Seattle Seahawks pumped up before the game. They probably won't need much help. They are 11-1 right now. They just beat the New Orleans Saints pretty handily this past week. And the 49ers, if they lose this one, they've lost the division, and I think they're going to be pretty tight with that wild card because there's some teams right on their heels. In more football news, Mike Tomlin. He's on the Rules Committee. He's newly acquired by the Rules Committee this past year. He actually is caught up in some controversy. In the game against the Ravens this past week, there was a kicker return by Jacoby Jones. He was going up the sideline, and he looked like he was going to make it all the way for a touchdown. And then, out of nowhere, Mike Tomlin just happens to be on the white stripes at the out of bounds line right there, and he's watching the big screen jumbotron, and then has to hop out of the way so Jacoby Jones doesn't hit him and he doesn't get penalized for interference. Jacoby Jones had to veer off to the right to avoid hitting Tomlin, and this slowed him down slightly, which allowed the Pittsburgh Steelers defenders to catch him and tackle him. Tomlin has said that he didn't mean to do it, but he is willing to accept all of his punishment and take his medicine for what happened. He's being fined $100,000 for this, and the Pittsburgh Steelers might lose some draft picks. It's all depending on what the draft order is, where the Pittsburgh Steelers get placed in the draft. I'm assuming if they're a really high top 10 pick, they're probably not going to lose a first rounder. If they were in the later part of the first round, I would imagine that would be what they lose. The funny thing about this is that Mike Tomlin's portraying himself as the village idiot. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't realize it. I was hypnotized. Oh, it's just so funny at the length that some of these athletes and coaches go to cover their own skin when we all know they're lying. It's blatant in the video that he steps out to get in the way because he's looking at the jumbotron to see where he's at, and he steps out blatantly real quick right before Jacoby Jones gets right in there, and then that slows Jacoby Jones down. It's so blatant, and I talked about this before in a video. I can't remember when, but it was a long time ago, and I've said it before about athletes. stop treating us like we're idiots. We understand that you're trying to protect your butt, but don't treat us like we're idiots. We know what's going on. You did it on purpose, and stop trying to save face and just admit to it. Be a man. He's one of those coaches that's hard-nosed and is about that whole being a man thing, and yet he has to come up with some excuse or some falsehood apology, some false apology to accept the consequences. I think it's ridiculous. I think the whole situation's funny and laughable, and it's very embarrassing for him. He should be really embarrassed about what he did, his actions, and I don't feel sorry for Steelers fans if they lose the draft pick. I really don't. The coach did a stupid thing, and we'll see what happens. Last bit of news, it's great news for my Cali friends all here in the area that I live. They're all Laker fans just about. Well, good news is that Kobe's coming back this Sunday versus Toronto Raptors. He's coming back against the team that he had his biggest scoring night ever, and I don't expect anything less than 80 points this game. I'm just kidding. If Kobe plays and he plays more than 20 minutes, I will be very surprised, and I just hope that he can stay healthy, and I hope that he's coming back at 100% because Kobe is one of the best ever, and I really want to see him at the top of his game still. I don't want to see him, hobbling around or anything like that. If he's that way, he should stay out and just, bide his time. But this is good news for my friends that are Laker fans and all you guys out there Laker fans. Kobe's back. So that's it for This Week in Sports, guys. Remember to click the like, share, subscribe buttons down below. Leave your comments and questions and inquiries down in the comment section. And remember, let's have a great conversation this week. We'll see you next time.